Alrighty. It appears as though we're live. See if anybody's logged in just a second. So, pretty much everything's set up. The only thing I gotta worry about is I've got some snacks coming in just a little bit. I gotta go to the door to grab them. Have to sign off momentarily and leave you all with a waiting screen. That's not too bad. It gives me a chance to test out the waiting screen. What can I say? What can I say? Anyway. Might as well get started. So today, I'm going to be just continuing the art I was working on last time. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, playing some Disco Elysium. I was originally thinking about doing helldivers, but I thought about it, and I would like to start with something narrative. You know, and have something that I can, you know, start a series on, post some clips of, you know, that sort of thing, you know? But yeah, no, I'm going to start with art first, do about an hour of it, and then we'll switch over to some gaming. But right now, my stuff's coming, so I gotta go grab that real quick. So, be back at a GIF, and we'll actually get started on this thing. What did I tell you? Back at a GIF. Alright. So. Trying to remember what I was even doing last week. So I've been thinking about it, and initially I just wanted to do these once a week streams, and I'm going to keep doing those, but I'm probably going to add on to that with some daily stuff. Not consistently, mind you. Like, you gotta... It's tough, you know what I mean? To do stuff on a daily basis. But anyway, to get into this, I had an idea. Something that would be nice to do. The question is of whether I can pull it off. Did you see this neckline? I like this neckline. But I want to experiment with something a little different. And of course, I'm not going to say what it is. There you go, a little more formal, huh? Yeah, don't think that's gonna work. Because I want to keep this big tank here, and you see how short that is? I don't like how short that is. So probably that's not what I'm going to go for. Probably I'm just going to keep it... Ba-bam. Just like that. I know, right? A true tragedy. I'm beside myself. Anyway. So... we got a little more to do with this purple. Yeah. Really cutting off this buckle with that sleeve, so we got a little bit more of that in there. You want to keep that detail. And what's nice about the other sleeve is that we really don't have too much of it exposed, so we're not going to worry too much about them. Now it's showing through the glass. It's going back and forth whether this was going to be transparent or not. It is. So I should make it as such. I didn't even remember what I was doing with this belt. Oh, there we go, and that's it. Took me a minute, but I remembered. Alright. There we are. We'll do for that. There we go. Okay. So that concludes, I think, the line work that I gotta do in this torso right now. I am gonna have to do more later. Crucially. But, for right now, this is gonna have to do. I don't say gonna have to, this will do. And, yeah, I want to do a little bit on the head. It's the main thing that's left. And then we can move on to another very crucial step, but I'm gonna surprise y'all. Surprise you with what that is. So, I'm remembering what my plan was for this, because I did do a sketch of this to sort of plan it out. So we do know where I'm going. Question of getting there, though. Those eyes are just going to be placeholders. By the way, I am seeing that there is chat, but it appears as though the feature that lets me follow along with it in YouTube is not currently working, so my apologies for not able to respond at current, unfortunately. Don't know what's going on with that. It's annoying. But Anyway, we carry on. What can I say? Didn't need to draw that nose, because you know what I'm doing? I think that'll do for now. Those respirators are always difficult. Trying to get a very clean cylindrical pattern at that angle. I always struggle with it. Circles can do funny things. I don't want to do that. Now for the final piece. Simply yet effective. One place where I do allow myself a lot more indulgence, a lot more fancy stuff to happen is with hair. I'm not really going too ham with this. I could go a lot more if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Ostentation is not the point of this design, in some aspects. In other aspects, we're getting a little bit, you know. But for now, no. So, yeah. The next stage of this is going to be, as you can see in the original really rough sketch, I'm kind of in front of this console here, which I'm going to move and resize a little bit right now. That's the wrong layer! Ta-da! We did it properly, thank God. However, yeah, so you see the rest of it's messed up there, but who cares? But anyway. I am going to do the console separately, straight up. I'm going to do that, like, last. I want to get this looking good first, before I put something in front of it. And so, what am I going to do? Lost my train of thought. Usually, or at least in the past, what I would do is I would go to, well, that's what that is at this point I would go directly to the fine lines outline. But recently I have been experimenting with doing it the opposite way. So here's the thing. I'm not formally trained. I pick up stuff and I do it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm friggin' doing improv here. I don't know how to do art. But that means I do pick up techniques. And one of the ones I've seen recently that I've been trying out to great effect is filling in rough color before doing outlines. That music sting was really well timed. Don't worry about it. Let's see here. Should I do the skin tone first? No. So I can't see chat, so one of my current viewers, who is my aunt, has taken to texting me, and what did she say? Some point it'll load. Yes, I know how to do art. Okay, well, I mean, if you say so. I mean, you'll pardon me for being facetious. So I want to be a little bit humbling. Is that so wrong? A little bit self-humbling? Checking myself, you know? So. I think that's going to be a good color. We're going, honestly, just full orange with this top here. Yeah, that's a good color to start out. We'll be able to adjust as we go. Going to do kind of a burnt orange top, and that's going to be really sort of a capital color for it. Things are going to kind of derivate from that, but we're not going to see too many tones that are different from that. It's going to be a pretty monochromatic design. I tell a lie. We're going to be seeing greens, right? But the greens, like, we're going to be seeing things in this sort of terrarium I have strapped to my chest. The greens are going to be, what are they going to do? Lost my train of thought again. They're going to be coming from the environment. They're going to be diegetic. You can't not color a plant green, you know what I mean? Well, you can, but you're getting a pretty exotic plant at that point. And that is to say that this orange is still going to be what's defining the design color-wise, leading around it. My aunt is concurring with my desire to humble myself. What can I say? Anyway. Here we go. So I find that doing with the colors first, it really gives, I don't know how to describe it. It like makes you feel a lot more confident in your line work when you're doing your line work, because you have something other than the roughs to go on. I mean, you know, the whole point of roughs is that you're doing an approximation of where the final dimensions are going to be, right? And there's something about adding this extra dimension of, like, here's the colors that, I don't know, it helps you feel things out in a more intuitive way. I don't know how to describe it. Here's a question. Does this look like a good two-tone? No. Let's try this. See, that looks better. Stick with this for now. Like I said, there's always time to go back and change. This is nice about this method. I really have a lot more time to work out the colors. With doing the colors at the end, there's so much locked in already that, like, I don't know, like, you're kind of worn out by the time you get to the colors if you do the lines first. That, like, I don't know, I just spend less time on them. I don't know how to say it other than I spend less time on them, right? And so, yeah, no, I'm just not as willing to experiment and figure things out. Also, I think I don't know, maybe something with the black lines, because I do line in black. You know, there's a lot of people who will say don't line in black, you know, experiment with different colors to let the lines be sort of a space where you can also, you know, suggest lighting by, you know, having them be lighter or darker than the fill-in color. I don't know, I'm just not interested in doing that. What can I say? Not right now. I could figure it out. Probably. I just would have to, like, apply myself and put in a conscious effort, you know what I mean? I would have to try, and I don't feel like doing that. What can I say? What can I say, folks? So, we got this good two-tone going. And I was telling a lie earlier when I said this is going to be a pretty monochromatic piece. The reality is I have another vector for colors that is going to be pretty different from this sort of... We're going to have a lot of oranges, we're going to have a lot of browns in the actual clothing. This terrarium here, there's going to be greens. There's also going to be blues. We're going to go blue with the metal. We're going to get to that. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to that. We got to do other things first. We got to have patience. You know what I mean? So. Got to find a nice leather color for this chest harness. Now let's dust it up a little bit more. IRL, I absolutely love brown leather. That's way too dark. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's way too dark. What am I doing? Let's see here. That's gonna get closer, I think. What are you doing? I'm sorry. Look at me. I'm apologizing to myself. Okay, that is closer in lightness. I forget the word. There's a word for it. But I gotta do Sadie a little bit more. That's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. The closer to what we're going for. I don't think I got it quite yet. I'm not dialed completely in. I have to do some screwing around. But anyway, no, I love brown leather. Shoes, clothes, accessories. I have an ID badge for work. A lot of people have ID badges. And they give us, like, you know, a typical lanyard necklace thing, you know, you wear it around your neck. I hate that thing. I hate it. So what I got, I have a pocket protector. It's brown leather. I'm able to attach a little dongle to that the ID cards can hang from. And it's actually protecting my pocket, because if I just put the little dongle that the ID cards hangs from on my chest pocket, hangs down too much. It ruins the pocket. It's the whole point of a pocket protector. So I got a little brown leather, kind of not suede, brown leather pocket protector. Love that thing. It's great. It feels good in your hand. You know what I mean? Like when you're handling it, it just feels good. And there's also the fact that if it starts to get worn out, there's a lot I can do to restore it. I couldn't do that with plastic. If I was using plastic, if I was using, fake leather, couldn't do it. I would have to have the thing until it breaks, and then I'm SOL. You know what I mean? Right. And back to this. Got some more leather fasteners. I got about 4 viewers. I think I know who 2 of them are. But if either the other 2 were here last stream, you mentioned that, you might have heard me mention that when I am in design mode, one thing I love is just fasteners. Things that attach things to other things. It's great. It really is great. Okay. That's another one we're gonna have to... Look at that color. Look at that color. Yeah, it'll do, but I gotta trade it out a little bit. There we go. That'll work a lot better. There we go. Ta-da! Look at that. That's a lot better. Okay. We're going to be having 2 different metallic materials at play here. We've got this light one that's probably going to be down here for the chest stuff. I do some buttons down here. And some fasteners up here. Probably the mask. I'm thinking of doing a bronze for the mask. This terrarium, though, is going to be high-tech. It's going to be dark blue stuff, you know what I mean? Something about dark blue feels like, high-tech, like Dune type stuff, Science fantasy. What can I say? Certain colors, they have a vibe. There's a reason why all tech is white these days. It's because it's got a vibe. People are like, ooh, want that vibe. Is it better? Is it good? Does it do anything? No, but we want it to be white. It's got a vibe. Or at least that's how it used to be. Things changed. Now it's more like, damn, now it's more like, there's like white and black. It's on both sides of the spectrum. It's nothing else besides white and black. You don't see too many, puce computers. You don't see too many puce iPhones, unfortunately. It's a shame. We should have more Technicolor, in my opinion. Electronics, That and earth tones. I love a good earth tone in my electronics. Something that's actually colored like the metal. Like a bronze. It's the reason why I'm going to do the mask in bronze. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, for this sort of broad strap, there we go. I think that's perfect. It's going to be a perfect tone right there. Now, what's nice is that once I block out the colors for a few things, I can go, hey, you're made out of the same material, I can just use the same color for you. Not to mention you got a lot of room for variation. Look at that. Look at that. Are we looking at that? There's a question of whether or not we're going to look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're wondering. We are wondering. somebody else asked who this character is going to be. And I suppose, yeah, no, I didn't explain it this stream. This is eventually going to be a sort of semi-animated puppet for this stream. You'll notice that there's a big area to my... How do sides work? The right of the screen. There's that sort of big area in the background. That's where it's going to be going. What's it going to do? Well, basically, I've got it set up in OBS to just switch back and forth between two different variants, depending on the mic level. You notice I said I got it set up. I already have the values set up. I just got to plug the art into it. And that's what I'm making right now. I'm making the art. It's all very basic stuff. You know, this is they call it a PNG tuber because you typically use a PNG for this kind of thing. And yeah, no, it's like, you know, the entry level of this kind of thing, of having this sort of VTube like setup, for lack of a better term. I don't know if you'd even qualify this as a VTuber. Who knows? But point is, it's simple yet effective. It adds personality and life without being too complicated. I love that stuff. An open question that's getting answered. I was looking at this strap and I was wondering, when am I going to color this? And I thought to myself, it would make a lot of sense to make it the dark leather pattern, you know, the real dark leather. But this lighter kind of... It's really more supposed to be a canvas under here. Anyway, point is... That looks nice, doesn't it? That looks nice, huh? Looks pretty nice, I think. You know? I accidentally made everything lighter for no reason. Anyway. Alrighty then. What else needs doing? That's a good question. There's a lot of unanswered questions with the terrarium for me, and I just noticed a big lining mistake that's gonna keep messing me up. You're not supposed to exist, darling. Go away. Let me just fix this whole thing. Notice this. I suppose that's another nice thing about, like, this method of blocking out with the colors first and then doing lines. You're looking at the rough sketch a lot more, and you notice those little problems. Otherwise, you wouldn't notice those problems until bada bing, bada boom. You're doing the lines. You're working out the final lines, and it's like, well, crap. Now I got this issue, and I'm correcting it in, like, the final stage, just right before it goes to, like, print, basically. And it's like, I don't know how to say it. Inconvenience. Words fail me. What can I say? I'm grasping at straws here, ladies and gentlemen. And I am noticing that people are chatting, and I would love to see what you got to say. There's only one problem. For some reason, I don't know why, the thing to see the chat on the stream is messed up for me. I can't see it. I can't see it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's really annoying. I don't know what it is. I appreciate that folks are chatting, but no, I unfortunately I cannot respond as of right now. Hopefully that'll get fixed in the future and I won't have to deal with that, because that's annoying. Okay, this is... Yeah, I need something a little bit more... For the bronze, I need something a little bit more yellow, because that's what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be kind of bronze color. Yeah, so we need... That is writing a ticket. That is getting on the train. But it's not getting to the destination. It realized it forgot something. It got off the train. It had to go back. My riveting color selection action. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely, actually. So we're gonna do... Yeah, we're gonna do two-tone for this bronze. We have the darker color, and we're gonna give it a little friend here. Let's test out how that looks. That looks good. It's closer than I envisioned, but I think it looks nice. And his lighter cousin is just going to sort of delineate weak points, you know? Points of lesser strength in the material and the overall construction of this mask. Gives it dimensionality. Something else that gives it dimensionality. It's coming out of left field. We got a muted bluish gray. All right. See, I made it sound dramatic. That's what I do here. I make things sound dramatic. All right. One more thing on the mask. I got no idea what I'm going to color this hose. Probably a gray tone. We'll see. You know, we'll see. Alrighty then. Skin tones next. Actually, let's go to a land down under. Men at Work wrote a song about that. Such a big area to color down here. That looks good. That actually looks good. That got it pretty much on day one. I'm gonna lighten it a little bit. Look at this. I'm lightening it just a little bit. That's such a big area. I don't even want to bother. Big areas. Color in big areas, man. The thing is that, like, excuse me, it's a catch-22 with color in big areas. You use the paint bucket tool, and that does it in one click, but there's only one problem. If you don't have the area predefined somehow, then the paint bucket tool just colors the whole background. You gotta have it defined. So what do? You go up to sample all layers so that it can see all the lines you put in all the different layers, and hey, those lines define an area, right? Nope, there's a gap somewhere. You don't know where. The area is so big. There could be so many places where there's just a little couple of pixel gap that the paint bucket is getting through. It's a constant struggle. It's a constant struggle. I am in constant agony. I should receive the Purple Heart. If there happens to be like a military veteran watching, that was a joke too far. I'll get canceled by the military veteran community for that joke. I'm being facetious. All right. So, yeah, that'll be under it. I will be sort of cutting myself off the torso with that big console that I'm going to draw at some point. That big old console that, if you see how my arms are going, I'm going to be kind of, standing at and typing. That thing is going to have lots of bells and whistles and buttons and wires, because otherwise it'll look boring. But either way, it's going to be big and it's probably going to be gray. I'm not even bothering with the hands. Technically speaking, I can draw hands. I just choose not to. Righto. Now you see, it looks like I'm wearing shorts. But the trick is that I'm not. Anyway. Let's see here. Yeah. Now, often I do skin tones, and that's the first thing I paint in, but I'm glad I didn't this time. Because, frankly, it's going to make picking them out easier. Skin tones are a tough thing. They have finicky skin tones. Like, see that? Is that too pale? Is that too yellow? I don't know. Subjective. Even when I'm looking at it, it's subjective, and I'm like, does this match my subjectivity? That's a better color. That's a better color. Damn, this is supposed to represent me, and I'm wondering, am I even that white? Do we want to go a little bit more? Nah. It's whatever, I'm Irish. People will understand. I guess it's pretty close. We're getting into the winter months and my tan goes away, so, you know, it's pretty accurate. Well, excuse me in a brief digression. I have to check my stream music. Currently operating off of free music that's just available there on YouTube. You can find specifically royalty-free music they can just use for a stream. You don't got to worry about copyright claims because they got it up there and it's free use and everything. It's a nice little system, you know. They're expecting you to play the music off of YouTube while you're streaming, so it's like they get free views out of it and you get music out of it. So I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Do I like the music? I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, because I don't know. Music is the one thing that I couldn't do in a million years, right? Like, I can do a couple of things. I'm not saying I can do them very well, but I can do a couple of things. I can't do music. Can't do music. I don't know. I could if I tried. I just don't try. You know what I mean? But yeah, now this is okay, but like, I don't know, there's a je ne sais quoi this music doesn't, you know, have in spades, you know what I mean? Like, if it did, the guy would charge money for it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying this artist is capable of doing better stuff, it's just that if, you know, if they had some real juice, I'd have to pay for a license, you know what I mean? It's a sad thing about, you know, having access to free assets. That's a lot of the time this is a horrible color for the hair. I'm sorry. Hang on. Look at that. It's way too yellow. There's too much yellow in that brown, ladies and gentlemen. Too much. You see? See how that's better? That's the reds. That is the reds, man. It's the reds right there. And we got to make it a little bit more... yeah, we get a little darker. We're trying for a very dark color with the hair here. See, that's good. That's good. That's a nice, bold... sort of a... yeah. Sweet gosh dang it. Look at that. Okay. Success! All right. Here's another problem with the paint bucket. You see this little line here? I could avoid this, but I don't want to, because you see this gradation here? If I don't deal with this line, I deal with the paint bucket flooding the gradation. Does it matter too much here? Not really. Is it a pain in the butt? Absolutely. It's a pain in the butt. I'm like censoring myself as I speak. I'm new to that. I typically don't, even in situations when I should. But I don't know. What can I say? Professionalism is putting the fear of God in me. The pain in the butt. You know what? You don't want to get caught saying pain in the butt. That's like a freaking like schoolyard coded thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get a lot of respect for saying that. Man, and I am seeing the chat going. Like I said, there's something wrong. YouTube has a built-in feature where I should be able to see it, and I cannot. I could sit here for like 10 minutes fiddling around with it, but I'm not going to be streaming long enough for that to be worth it. I'm gonna check things after. Oh boy, I'm gonna check things after, but hopefully this whatever's wrong with it gets fixed. Because it ain't something on my end. It was working fine when nobody was chatting to me the last time I streamed, but here I am. What can I say? What can I say? Alrighty. So there you have it. Pretend I'm not wearing shorts. You can pretend that because it's true. These aren't supposed to be shorts. Something's going to go in front of them, you see, and they're not going to be shorts. I'm very defensive about wearing shorts. But yeah. Since I didn't do a sort of a second rough over these arms, you can see the line work is very rough here, so I'm kind of guesstimating where it really should be with the color. That's one nice thing about the color. If I don't do the fine lines, that guesstimation, like, it feels better, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it in any other way. Possibly, I don't know how to describe it in any other way. Yeah, can you see that little line? I'm going to need to make sure that I cover that. I'm going to make sure that I cover that when I'm doing sort of the final refinement of the colors. But I don't know. I'm setting myself up for failure because I'm not doing it now. Alright. Time to tackle this terrarium. And you're thinking to yourself, he's got a color in the terrarium, but no. I'm throwing you for a curveball. I'm going Insano style with it. I'm doing something real different. I'm going to do some more drafting on it. What an epic setup and payoff that was, that delivery right there. I know, right? I'm a classic presenter. But anyway. So we currently have, if you'll excuse the colors that we worked so hard on for a moment, this kind of rhododendron, I think. I forget the name of it. Rhododendron type plant. It's got to have some friends, okay? You can't just have a terrarium that's empty and all it's got is a rhododendron. That ain't a terrarium. That's a friggin' imprisoned plant. We can't have that. You know, we got to give it friends. We got to give it a community. You know what I mean? Plants got to have social interaction. Yeah, we're gonna do it on this layer. Bada bing. All right. You see what I was complaining before about the music? This has that je ne sais quoi that the previous track didn't. I can't put a name on it. This bop's better. I'm just saying. But anyway. So. You'll forgive the pause, I have no idea what I'm going to do here. I am formulating it in my mind. Live, ladies and gentlemen. horrible looking flower. Man draws worst flower, asks to leave flower symposium. That looks alright. But the secret sauce... So we gotta have an whole understory here. We gotta have a whole understory here. If there's one thing I will always appreciate, it is a nice full bed of moss. That reminds me of a story. We like stories, don't we? I was in the Great Northwest, and there was water, the Pacific Ocean. And we were on the water in kayaks. It was a kayak tour. It was a great kayak tour. Talking somewhere, I forget where. I think Puget Sound. You know, that big, huge... What do you call it? L shape of water that goes into Washington. I think that's where I was. Might have been somewhere in Oregon. Anyway, it's a really nice kayak tour. Tour guide takes us out. He's like, welcome to water in the Pacific. I'm used to the Atlantic, so this was all new to me. I was very excited. Here's some bull kelp. It's like a rope in the water. You can just pull it up, and it's as thick as your fist. There's a baby harbor seal. Don't get too close, or its mother will come out of nowhere and will murder you. And here's an island where we're gonna hike up to a little overlook. And he takes us up to this overlook. Beautiful. There's this green carpet moss across the entire floor of this little clearing. And that's the destination of our little hike. And we're chilling there. And this guy, this tour guide, he's in his early 30s. He's still a young man at heart. He tells us a story of like an earlier expedition when he came up to this place with the carpeted moss. He brought a tour group up there, and as they were approaching this clearing, they noticed there was a deer. And he's like, oh man, like a baby deer. We don't want to get too close to it because it's going to get scared away, but let's try to get a little closer to it. Try to get a little closer. The deer's not running around. The little baby deer's not running away. It's just curled up there. They're like, oh, this is unusual. Usually those things, they freaking scram. They get right next to it. They realize, oh, that baby deer is not alive. Tragedy. You know what I mean? But sort of beautiful in its tragedy. It's this scene of nature, you know, this beautiful area with this beautiful carpeted moss overlooking, you know, the cliffs by the sea, and there's this little animal kind of curled up, dead, but not decayed yet. So, in a way, there's poetry to it, almost. And so that's the morning tour. The afternoon tour, a lot of kids in that tour, a lot of families in that tour. And the guy, of course, is doing the same circuit. He knows that there's going to be this dead deer that is not decayed yet up at this clearing. And it's like, I'm still going to take it to the same spot because it's not like the deer is unsightly, you know what I mean? But, you know, I gotta warn him. You know, I gotta tell him that this is going to happen. And so they're getting to this island. They're getting up to the part of the tour where, you know, they go up to this area with the carpeted moss where this little carcass is going to be. And the tour guide says to him, you know, kids, you're running ahead. You're going to get up there before any of us adults, including me. You know, be warned up there. There's something up there. It's a beautiful but tragic part of nature. You know, just be sure to respect it. You'll know it when you see it. And so the kids run ahead, as kids often do on these things. And I would like to say they were never heard from again, because that would be a really tragedy to this story. But no, they came back down the trail, bawling their eyes out, screaming. And the guy's like, oh dear. Well, I mean, what I saw earlier couldn't have enticed this reaction. So what do they see up there? He gets up to the clearing, and the vultures have gotten to it. They've gotten to it, and they have spread the... I won't get into the details. The vultures got to it. Vultures are not known for their table manners. You can imagine what happened. The effect, the tragic beauty was ruined, and the parents of the children were very, very cross. Now, luckily, if you're a tour guide at a place like that, you don't get fired. So, it was fine. Nothing came of it. But he's like, dang, this deer is now a liability. It's no longer tragically beautiful, and it is sitting doing its non-tragic beauty in like a main spot I go with my tours. So he comes back a few days later on the next tour group. Those are college kids, and he thinks, you know what, this is perfect. And he tells them, hey fellas, you want to help me out? There's this deer carcass up here in my favorite spot to take people, and the vultures got to it. It's been a few days, and it hasn't been rain, so it's going to be all dried out. Would you fellas be willing to help me chuck it over to the side of the cliff so I don't got to deal with it anymore? And they're like, yeah, no, that's fine. And so that is the end of the tragedy of that one particular spot where this guy brings a deer carcass. I forgot what got me onto this story. This is probably a really bad story to tell during stream, but whatever, I got it out of the way. Never gonna tell it again. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a VOD of it. Who knows? But anyway, I'll never forget how he ended that story because silver linings, you know. The silver lining of this one was that, you know, this deer carcass was there, it caused all these problems for him in his business, but the main attraction of that spot is that carpet moss. That carpet moss, you sit on it, it's like sitting on a couch cushion. It is wonderful. It's like tall for moss. It's like an inch tall, the little stalks of moss. And really dense. You sit on it, you sink into it like a sponge. And for a month after that deer deceased on that moss, and after all that ordeal that little deer caused, that moss was as lush as it possibly could be for a month. Silver linings, you know, you take the good with the bad. But anyway, caterwauling about that BS. It's got me through coloring these leaves. See, that's a nice green. It's a nice deep dark green. There's some rhododendrons that are like that. There's some that aren't, but I'm not worried about those. Now we gotta give it those... Of course we gotta give it a deep red, saturated red flower. Of course we gotta do that. Why would we do that? It's rhododendron. I think I based this on a rhododendron. It was a week ago, I forget. It could have been a hydrangea. I don't know. You think I'm a plant expert? I got people for that. Actually, no, I don't got people for that. I got one family member who I'm like, yo, is this a plant? And they're like, yeah. They know plants better than I do. They're experts at identifying them. I show them something. I'm like, is this a plant? I can't tell. And they're like, yeah, no, that's definitely a plant. I've been doing plants a long time. I can tell you that's definitely a plant. All right. Now I'm going to have to come in and do more work on the lines here. I really am. Because you can see this is just kind of a lump of red right now. And that's what I want it to be. That's what I want the colors to look like. But, for now... I'm just going to leave it as a nice blob of red. It's like a giant strawberry. Giant mutated raspberry. It looks like a raspberry. I was lying when I said it looked like a strawberry. That was a creative license on my part. Now we're really experimenting. We're going off from the original plan of sort of a hydrangea here with this. Hydrangeas don't have these yellow tufts. Just seeing how this looks. That looks good. Draws the eye more. I do want, like, you know, the whole point of the design is like, oh, a guy. But I do want people to be like, oh, a guy and a plant. I want people to pay attention to the plant. What can I say? I put so much work into it. I want people to pay attention. Alright. We gotta get a nice brown color for the stem. Here we go. Alrighty then. Alright, there we have it. Plant colors, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty then. That was wrong. Now, we are coming up on a good stopping point here, actually. Like I said, this is not going to be a long stream. We're talking 2 hours. Not going to be a long stream. And we're cutting it halfway through because we're going to be gaming for the second half. This was the first half. And is this a good color for... No, it's not. This is not a good color for the dirt. What am I doing? That's black. Not even a good black. See, there's more of a coffee color. Still doesn't look the best, but let's give it some more greens to kind of... Oh, dear Jesus, look what I've done. Let's give it some more greens of that moss to kind of try to bully it in the direction that we like. As I said before going on to my dead deer story, I love a good moss. Mosses are such wonderful little plants. Someday I am going to have a big old terrarium in my room that's just chock full of moss and little roly-polies and things that crawl around on it. Not this year, though. I'm too ambitious of my terrariums. I want to actually go out and I want to source the ingredients myself, and it's gotten too late in the year, and I'm not good enough of a terrarium guy yet to be like, yeah, let me just go in the winter and grab something. So, I'm saying that. It's like, it's too warm this time of year, you know? I actually remember seeing somebody on social media saying that, like, yeah, it's not entirely out of the ordinary for it to be this warm in October where I live, but it's a little out of the ordinary, though, you know? I think people do underestimate how much climate change has kicked in. Well, overestimate how much climate change has kicked in already. It's kicked in. It's kicked in to a noticeable degree. It's kicked in too much. But, like... I mean, we're just getting started, you know? There's still plenty of time to avert the worst effects of it, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say here. We got a lot to go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, am I over the moon about how this moss is doing? I am not over the moon about how this moss is doing. This moss is doing okay. I'm not loving this moss. I'm not, like, overly enthusiastic about it. Not overly enthusiastic about it, but it'll do for now. What's going to really matter with the moss is the line work, because the line is where you suggest texture. Oh dear, I didn't mean to do that. The line is where you suggest texture, and that is going to matter so much with these little guys. So much. All right. Now, It's also really going to matter with these little guys, because otherwise they're just going to look like two big lumps of corn. They're going to look like two big lumps of corn. Look at that. Alrighty. Final check. That looks good. See, that looks so much better than if it was just the little rhododendron maybe type guy kind of in there, you know? But anyway. Yeah, that concludes the art section, because, yeah, it's enough art for, one day. I kid. I do more than this in a day, you know? But my apologies if I'm quiet. I gotta click some things, but that's gonna do it for the art. All right, game time. So, on the off chance someone's watching who remembers the description of what the stream was going to be a week ago, I said that I was going to be doing Helldivers. And at some point, I will be playing Helldivers 2 on stream, but I decided I want to do something else. So I have attempted to play through Disco Elysium, like, 2 different times at this point, separated by like a year, and it just hasn't happened. Every time I just lose interest is the wrong word. I just bounce off of it, and you know, I don't get back to it. I want to play it all the way through, and I want to have a period where I forget, you know? Don't want to have that. So the goal, play it all the way through in one continuous period of activity. One continuous period of activity. And I thought, hey, why not share it with the world? I'm, you know, what's the word? Desperate for content. But no, this game is wonderful. There is like a lot for me to talk about with this game. Like, I've seen maybe 1% of the content that this has to offer, I think. I don't know. I can't even tell. I don't know how long this game is how not far I've gotten in it. I don't know how long it is. But even just the parts that I have seen, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot I appreciate about this game that I've seen so far. And someday it will load, and I will switch over to you seeing it. Some point it'll do that. We'll see, you know? And here we go. Yeah, I don't want to show the startup screen because I'm going to have to do technical stuff. Which is a shame because the logo is really cool. But anyway. Alright, here we go. Righto. Alright. Now you see I gotta turn off the background music for this. Obviously I do. Of course I do. One of the things I love about this game is the music. So what have I done so far? I've done 2 different playthroughs so far. Partial playthroughs. I got through maybe the first day. What have I done? I've done Thinker, I've done Sensitive. Have I done Physical? Do I want to try doing Physical? I'm going to be really dumb if I do Physical. But I also may be able to fight the large, shirtless racist guy if I do Physical. There's no way I'm going to be able to fight the... I might try to fight the large, shirtless racist guy. Do I want to try to fight the large, shirtless racist guy? Damn. See, I've gotten that far. I've gotten past him through other means. Mainly by just listening to him talk. Damn, do I want to try to fight him? Actually, no, I want to do this one, because you see he might begin to lose his mind. That's where the fun is in this game. I know enough to know that's where the fun is. So yeah, I'm doing that. You gotta play Insano style, you gotta do it.
There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore.
If I ever meet the guy that voice acted all this crap, he's getting a firm handshake.
Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
It's a loaded sentence. Is that not a loaded sentence? That's a loaded sentence. No ex-wives are contained within it. I don't want to deal with that.
You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage. Alright. Nothing town to fuck all borough.
You tired of this bit yet?
Not you. Your days of giving a shit and being that type of animal are over. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself, got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
It's interesting. I played through this, like, part where you're just in the friggin' void more than once. This is the first time I don't remember the limbic system telling me this. My own limbic system is mocking me. Look at this guy.
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Yes, your one disco mother. There's this giant ball there. An evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball.
Damn. That's one way to put it. Thank you, limbic system.
You can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large. Infinitesimally small.
Damn.
Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose.
Damn. Here's where I make a roleplay decision. I'm bad at those. I'm like, okay, I could do this. This sounds more me, but this sounds more fun. Which one do I want to do? I got an idea.
Yes, it is. And you drowned in that sadness a long time ago.
Ooh, that's loaded.
You lost.
Welcome to the game, ladies and gentlemen. I think I lost a viewer when that happened. We see, meet your player character, everybody. Get a look at this guy. All right, let's have him get a little bit
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
That's good. I like being able to get out of here. All right, I forgot about that button. Yeah, look at that. Helpful stuff. The reel-to-reel tape player is still on, rolling empty. See, like, I like that that's, like, your first thing that, like, okay, technology is different here. Because you know what nobody does in the real world? Nobody has a reel-to-reel tape player as, like, their main listening device, especially not in a motel room. Look at this thing. This is, like, this is the Whirling in Rags. This is not mine. This is theirs. It's like they took technology and they were like, okay, you know, here's how tech works. How can we make it different from a cultural perspective?
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
Oh well, I mean, you know, don't belittle the necktie too much.
Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
Ooh, now here I got another choice. Do I want to be smart or do I want to be an idiot? Because here's the fun option. I try to grab it while it's still spinning. This is not a game where I can just get away with something like this. If I mess up, I'm gonna knock myself out again. That having been said, I talked myself into it. Let's roll the dice, literally.
You reach out to grab the tie, but what's this? Diffuse, radiating chest pain. Doom comes over you. This is bad. Feels like sharp stones grinding in your chest and keeping you from moving. For quite a long time. Still ongoing. Now is a good time to start worrying. Finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and trying not to move, hoping it will keep you from dying.
Well, what can I say?
The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. This fan has 2 chain pulls, or has it been consigned there as punishment? Oh no, it's happening again. You didn't catch it, and now there's a numbness in your left arm, plus half your chest.
The saga continues.
It's even worse this time. Maybe you should stop trying to catch the tie. Still happening. Definitely worse than the last time.
Oof.
Finally, the stabbing recedes. You could try doing it again to see how painful it gets. But you would probably die.
Yeah, I'll get my tie later. What can I say? I got other problems. Like, look at this.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. What do you mean, assess the damage? How would you do that? What are you even trying to do?
Oof. Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. What can I say? Alright. I should probably put on a shirt. Oops. See, look at me, I'm stumbling. I can't even put on a shirt right. See, now I'm looking kind of respectable. Not even close. That's a lot of liquor. That's locked. Yeah, good luck with that.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off.
That's a lot of
Hot
faucet.
water sprays from the base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
I will say, I like this part that's coming up.
Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions.
See, I kind of want to go with option 3 here, but nah, let's get it over with. Let's go. Wait.
A mirror
Yeah, you were right.
hangs on the wall as
There we
you
go.
slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin.
Ooh.
It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers.
See, this is like, you know, it's the little things, right? It's the details, okay? Like, I'm probably going to move on. I'm not going to indulge in this too much, but like just the grossness of you as a player character. Like it really establishes the tone of the piece. Like right off the bat, you're dealing with, you are like, there's a lot of games that start you off as like a down on his luck guy. But like most of them, it's like a guy who's down on his luck is successful. Now, this guy, whose name, if you play the game, you know, but I'm not going to say so that we can discover it together if you haven't played it. This guy's a fucking mess. Like, straight up. No ambiguity. This, like, friggin', you know, other people who say they have a tragic backstory, he looks at them and is like, the fuck are you talking about, tragic backstory? You don't know nothing, you son of a bitch. Anyway. Enough caterwauling.
Behold.
Look at that. See, this is kind of like, it's sort of like crude and impressionist is what it is. Like, you see those rough brush strokes, but like the color, the way that they know how to use light, to me, this looks really good. The hierarchy of details too. You see how this eye is really detailed, and then as it goes out, we are getting less and less detailed as we go. Like, you know, this side of the face is barely defined. It suggests lighting as a secondary feature. All right, that's all we're going to see. Anyway.
You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Whatever it is, at least it's dead now. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face?
Apparently I am. What's it to you, pal?
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scared. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
Not the big role-playing moment here. What is it trying to convey? I like number 2. I don't know, it's indescribable. Jesus Christ, I'm scared of it. Look at it.
You should check yourself for a pulse, because from here it looks like a cadaverous spasm. You find no sign of life on your swollen neck. However, putting your hand on your chest reveals an irregular heartbeat. You appear to be alive, for now. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Ooh. We say an ooh a lot. There's a lot of oohs in this game. Yeah. Yeesh. We're stumbling. Alright. At least I got most of my clothes. I'm missing a shoe. I wonder where it could have gone. If you're new to the biz, that's what we call a setup. Right.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Ugh. You know, the other times I've played, I've been able to figure out what happened to the window, but this time I can't. If only there was another way. Again, that's a setup. Ooh. Money. I need that. Okay, this is one area where I'm gonna let previous playthroughs guide me. Because, first of all, hang on, shut up. That song's got fucking hair on its chest. Listen to that. I love this soundtrack, man. It knows what it's doing. But anyway, I ain't walking around with one shoe. I'm getting the other shoe.
There they both are. 2 identical shoes. Both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. Reunited on your feet. Good. They're balanced. Comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Gust of briny wind washing over you. How's the wind? It's briny. You know, little things like that. You know, little things, you know? I'm starting to think we're by the sea. Radio's not working. Nope, there it is. Step in Kendra? I don't know. There's 9 degrees centigrade there.
Hello, officer.
What you just call me?
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Do I want to take the obviously stupid option? Do I? Do I want to be funny with this right now? I want to be funny. Let's go.
The young woman shakes her head slowly.
No. You're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Ooh, mostly drinking. Here's another question. Do I want to be a creep? Look at that number 3 there. No.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself.
A fondness for contradictory statements.
I'm sorry. I was being glib. I'm sure you're a great cop.
No, she's not. Reassert yourself by being flirtatious.
You only live once.
The words have already left your mouth.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on. Say it again. Come on, man. Pretty, please. One more time.
Don't back down now. Say what you said again. Proudly.
Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cop are you? Okay, that's cool. Or if I can just maybe ask you to elaborate on that superstardom a tiny bit. I have certainly been entertained. Thank you. Whatever you are, you should stick to it. Otherwise, it's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me.
That's a hell of a closing line.
And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
As it goes, ladies and gentlemen, as it goes.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
So, here's the thing. You're playing a drug addict. This game is about drugs. Not in a good way. Like, it honestly has, from what I've seen so far, like, there's a lot of this game I haven't seen, so I can't, like, say definitively. But from what I have seen in this game, it is written by people who really understand what it is to, like, deal with drug addiction. And they're portraying it in a very realistic way. That having been said, so far, I have done basically 2 sober runs. I tell a lie. There's like some parts where you kind of have to, because, you know, this guy is on death's door. He needs a little pick-me-up every now and again. But that having been said, screw Joe the Camel. Like, I do think this game is more fun to play, or at least from what I played so far. Maybe one day I'll do like a complete narcotics run, but so far at least, I'm trying to be like, this guy's turning his life around. Weekend edition of the satirical newspaper, Trop the Mondi, I think is what it said. I don't know. Now hang on a second. I've always assumed that this is some kind of Stairmaster. Yeah, I was dumb. This isn't a... I assumed this was an assisted mobility thing. Like, the seat folds down and it goes down the stairs, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's made of rock. Look, the banister goes into it. It attaches. There's no rail there. That definitely used to be... Like, it's some early concept for the art, that's what it was, but then they changed it. I can't believe anything otherwise. I don't know. I can't believe anything otherwise. There's my man. Look at him. Look at him. I fucking love that guy. We'll get to him in a minute. Don't worry about it. Oh, you're the... Right. The shitty motel. Look at that lore, ladies and gentlemen. Summer door closed throughout the winter. It's the little things, man. It's the little things. You gotta, like, consider. Gotta do a lot of considerations to be like, well, yeah, of course a place like this, in the kind of climate, might have 2 different doors. And they close the one that's open to the prevailing winds from the sea in the wintertime. You gotta think about that. It's depth. I love little details like that. I'm a sucker for them. I'm a complete sucker, man.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast oceanic soul.
Vast oceanic soul.
Utterly. And it needs to be heard through a PA system by other people, whether they like it or not. Ram it up their ears, says your adrenaline gland. Violently express yourself. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
The karaoke thing, I haven't done the karaoke yet in any of my playthroughs, but you know, I'll get there. All right. Yeah. Feels right. I belong up here. This is my natural environment. On a shitty stage made of pallets in the middle of rundown. It's more of a hostel than a motel. Hi.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again.
So I'm going to comment in more on this as time goes on. These character portraits, these little character portraits, these are so good. These are so freaking good, man. I love these so much. They look great. They just do. They look great. And there's so much, like, look at this guy. I can friggin' tell what type of movies this guy's like, okay? I'm profiling. I'm being unfair, but you get a vibe off this fella. Look at this guy. You get a vibe off of him, okay? From this artwork. That is good. What can I say? I'm riding it, okay? I'm riding it right now. Hardcore, okay? What am I riding? Who knows? Who gives a... Don't worry about it. Don't think about it.
Disdain in his eyes. Even now he is purposely ignoring you. Looks like he's not a fan.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop. Yes, you are. A real decorated hero. What did you not do? First you took the body down. Then you solved the murder. Then you didn't trash my hostel room. Maybe you even negotiated the strike.
Called it. What did I say? It was a hostel. Called it. That's me calling it. I want to be the Dick the Gart.
Oh, it's not? You're right. It's not.
He has no respect for you personally, but this man sees himself as a law-abiding citizen, and you a representative of that law. He tries to avoid outright conflict. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it. Most likely on a wall. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there.
He looks at the doors where a man in a bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor.
Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
I want to annoy this guy more because he's really fun to annoy, but we got to move on. We got to get to things, okay? We got to do stuff. We got a limited amount of time on this earth. We got to get to what matters. Thank God for the autosave. I have, like, actually, this is a game where you actually have to, like, save scrub. And, like, you got to be like, okay, save here, save here, save here. Because, like, if you don't do that, you can, like, frickin', like, lose hours of progress. Because this guy will have a heart attack out of nowhere. That happens. That happened to me. I lost, like, a frickin' half a day. Ooh. Mine. Okay, so this is one of the drugs I do use. This is just acetaminophen. The acetaminophen they use, it's like Flonase acetaminophen. See, it's a health potion. Don't worry about it. I'm not addicted to acetaminophen. A large bubble is rising to the surface. Door is bolted. The sign reads, "Kitchen reserved for personnel until 1300. Ooh, someone is working. Wonder if I'll get to talk to them later. Sign reads, "Mess hall reserved for union members. 1600. The door's open."
Hello, sweetie.
See, I could talk to my main man here who's currently glitching. But don't worry about it. I want to talk to the old lady. And again with the portraits. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I know what kind of hard candy she likes. I could clock it on her by looking at her. Look at that. It's not even realistic. That's not the point. It's expressive. I'm getting an expression from this.
You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
Ah, well, never mind. I was going to have a whole conversation with you. It was going to be funny because I was... All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay. We got to gas yourselves up for this, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourselves. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Because it's the man. The myth. The legend.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. You.
Ah, there we go. We're in it. We're playing now. We're cooking with gas. The fucking everybody's favorite guy is here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's favorite. If he's not your favorite guy, I don't like you personally. As a person, go fuck yourself for real. If you don't like this man, okay? This man's. I love this man. He's my friend in real life. Oh Jesus. Nah, but seriously though, like he's got a vibe. Does he not have a vibe? He's got a vibe.
As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting.
You'll get it as we go. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it.
If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
See what I tell you? This is one of the reasons.
He is your half-brother.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
So I could tell him right away that I got complete amnesia. I want to have fun with it. It is more fun to try to lie about it. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. Yes, it is. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau is one classy name for one classy cop. Say it.
Yes, well, it looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
See, I wanna pretend, but I don't want to do it good. That's the thing.
Right. And the interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Mm-hmm. Completely. Does that mean you took the body down from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree.
See, this is the fun.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
And I feel like I don't have to say it, but also these portraits that for the different parts of your brain as a character. That's a vibe. Is that not a vibe? That's a vibe. You're looking at a vibe right there, okay? We are checking the vibe, and it is there. In full force. Full frontal vibe.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
I'll be honest. Yeah, no, the bit gets old pretty quick of like lying and pretending you don't have amnesia, so let's just go for it.
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General. Internal affairs, and I'm not them. I'm from criminal investigation. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job.
I love this. It's backing you into a corner.
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Rip off the bandit. Let's go.
I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse.
That's Kim. He takes it in stride. My man. He's ready for anything.
If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern.
A painkiller would be good about now. This thing is pulsating with discomfort.
Look at that. Yeah, that's pain threshold right there. Look at him. He is friggin'... That is, Saint Sebastian? Stephen? Whichever state gets shot with all the arrows. That's him. Look at him. Look at him. Pain, brother. Pain.
The best cure for a headache is, of course, morphine. They won't have that. So cigarettes will have to do.
All right.
After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
Here's the thing. I don't know if there's any other, like, people that you can have in your party in this game. But I don't know. I haven't played enough of it to know. But anyway. Right. So, now we have... I want to take a look at this. Royal Pinball Machine is unplugged. Okay. I could talk to her more, but we're going to deal with her in a second. Don't worry about it. You'll see, you know. If not today, because we've only got about... We got about 10 minutes left, so, you know.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol.
Revachol.
Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away.
We love Revachol. Look at this. That's the first time we see the body, and this stupid... I hate him. I hate this little fucker. Yeah, man. Oh, this is the whole map, I think. Most of it, anyway. Yeah. Just gonna appreciate it for a second, bruh. Like, oh man, this might be where we stop because it's like 8. It's like 8:47. This is a good natural stopping point. This is before we get into, like, you know, there's a lot more we got to do. Like, I played through this beginning part enough to know where the stopping points are. It's gonna get rougher later on because I'm gonna be in untested waters. But you know, for now we're in a good place. But yeah, look at this, bro. Look at this. Like, excuse me. The attention to detail, man. The attention to detail, like, it's all about vibes, right? It's all about what emotions does any detail instill. What feelings does it conjure? And this is... it's damaged, but it's beautiful. It's a fucking wreck, but you can see how somebody that like calls this place home would love this place. And yeah, also on a functional level, like, you know, you learn about the backstory of this area. You can see it, you know, it's on display. But like as a person, first time playing it, you wouldn't know, you know. I would kill to make a piece of art like this, honestly. This is objectives for me. This is freaking goals, man. This whole project, man. And that is one of the reasons why I like this game. One of the reasons why I'm playing this game. Because, like, you know, the more I learned about it, the more I realized that, like, yo, this is me. Okay? Not exactly. There are approaches that this game takes to storytelling that I personally would not take. Not because they're worse than something I would do. Probably they're better. But not my style. What can I say? Not my style. Anyway, yeah, we're going to cut it off with 10 minutes to spare because, you know, this is a good stopping point, you know? This is a good stopping point. So we're going to save it here. We'll be back next week to play more Disco Elysium. And like I said before, I'm going to start doing stuff in the mornings. By mornings, I mean early mornings. I'm talking like 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Really early in the mornings. Because that's time that I want to use for productive stuff anyway. And it's like the productive stuff that I would be doing is stuff I would want to stream. And so synergy, you know? So I'll be doing kind of a morning show. Kind of a wake up, you know? Wake up, you dumb bastard type of thing. Body doubling for us ADHD people out there as they go through their morning routine. Difference being that I wake up at 5 because, you know, I hate myself. So you know, I'm already through a lot of that, and I could sit down and, you know, crank out just an hour, short stream, you know what I mean? I mean, this was a short stream. The stream could go for 3-4 hours. This is only 2. But anyway, yep, look it up over Revachol West, I think we're in. Look it out over, I will spoil, they call this area the Doom Commercial District. Mainly because of this one building here. I mean, that's the only one. We're right by the port. There's really not a lot here. I guess there's a bigger apartment building back behind that. Anyway, point is, thanks for everybody that tuned in. I'll be able to see your chats once I end the stream and can actually go look at them because, like I said, the widget wasn't working. I can't wait to see what those look like, or if they were just welcome messages. I don't know. I didn't see them. But anyway, point is, thank you. I'll be seeing you around. Bam. Right. It's my outro screen. I gotta leave the outro screen up for a while. You gotta see the outro screen, you know?
The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky. Cold.
There's a little part that's not going to be in the VOD. Ah, it's just 2 lines. Because I had to do that to get to a save game. Alright. Saving. There we go. Alright, good night and good luck, folks. Good night and